I'd like to call the Hopkinton Zoning Board Review meeting to order. We could all stand for a brief moment of silence and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Excuse me?
I didn't say I'm wrong.
All right, so we have on the agenda tonight petition 1, which is a petition for dimensional variance filed by Courtney Cahill on behalf of herself. I would like to entertain a motion to move this to next meeting as the applicant's not present and the biologist won't have anything ready till next month.
So moved.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we're going to kick them to the 18th of March, I think. Is that the right date?
Yep.
All right, then our second petition is a hearing, which is a petition for a special use permit filed by the Hope Valley Grange with a mailing address of 1116 Main Street, Hope Valley, Rhode Island, 02832 for property owned and located at 1116 Main Street, Hope Valley, Rhode Island, 02832, identified as Assessor Plat 28, Lot 145. It's in an RFR 80 zone and filed in accordance with sections 8C and 10 of Chapter 134 of the zoning ordinances of the town of Hopkinton as amended. And we have the applicant present, Mrs. McBride from the preschool, and then we have also, what's your title, Tony?
King Grange guy?
I'm president of the Valley Grant.
And we-
I used to be the master, but they changed it. You can't call me a master.
So many comments, but
I know, I could go so many.
okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So we have Tony Apiece as the supreme president of the Hope Valley Grange.
I like King.
You like King? Okay. So, all right, so we have, I don't think, we didn't have anything left over. Did we get all of our green cards back? Yep. Yep, thank you. We got the ones from Richmond too? Because we had a couple over the river and through the woods.
Yeah, but what say do they have?
Okay.
What say do they have?
We still have to notify them. I don't know what they have to say, but we still have to notify. What's the point? Because it's within the rules that we set,
Okay.
Yeah, notify the town council.
right?
You asked me to do the same thing when I had the special use permit for the convo. For the same.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember that.
You said you got 2 out of the 3 back?
I think 2 out of 3 came back. They
Okay.
all got the letter.
Oh.
We got the receipt.
Okay, so 2, all right, yeah.
We did the same thing for people in Los Angeles.
All right, so could you, either of you, step up and just identify yourself for the record and tell us what you're gonna do? And then we can throw questions at you.
Anthony, are you shy?
No, I'm not sure at all.
Okay, just check.
I can-
Is this on? It should be, yeah.
Did the Richmond notice go to the town council as well, as
Oh,
they were told?
yeah, notice didn't get certified.
Yeah, I mean, we're not sending it certified to the town council.
You're supposed to.
The certified one?
You're supposed to notice the town council and the voters. For certified mail.
Is it, I don't remember ever doing that, do you, Dan?
No, they never send us a notice of what they're doing.
True.
I called the clerk's office and let them know that I was sending letters to the abutters.
Oh, they are aware, okay.
And that's the same thing I did last time, unless the rules changed.
Okay. No, well, we have a new solicitor working for us, and they all have different
It's gonna try to-
opinions. He's trying to keep us out of jail.
That's a good thing.
That's, okay, so,
My name's Debbie McBride from Wood River Preschool, and we're currently located at 1059 Main Street. We service 20 children on average per day, providing a preschool education. They're ages 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. And we've been in this community operating for 39 years. We'd like to go past that if possible. We were hit with 14 violations upon our last inspection by the state fire marshal, and that occurred in July. So our option is to come up with between $50,000 and $60,000 to stay there, or we are seeking to move to 1116 Main Street, which is the Hope Valley Grange. And we'd like to operate what we do currently there at the Grange.
All right, so you said you served 20 kids, there's 2 classes, is that 20 kids per class?
Yes.
Typically, all right, and you do 2,
We do a class on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 to 11:30. And then we have a class on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8:30 to 11:30. And then we offer extended hours on just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday till 1:30. Because of COVID this year, we have a little bit of a difference in our hours where we have to extend our drop-off to separate our families out, so there's not so many leaving and coming at the same time, so we're actually done by 2 o'clock because of that extension.
how many parking areas do you think you have at the church? I know you probably don't know, but.
It's less than 20, because I have families that have to park on the road behind the post office, because the staff also takes up 5 spots.
Right.
So they have to cross over, is that Thelma? That's
That's
between Hope.
Locustville
They have to
Road.
cross over Locustville to even get in our parking lot.
Yeah, so they're parking about 200 yards away
Yes.
to walk to the preschool at the
Right.
church now.
Correct.
And you got to contend with church parking, preschool parking, and then Hope Valley
Valley.
overflow parking.
Yes. And they
Right.
take our spots too, which we finally smartened up and put a notice on the windshields asking them, please figure out where to park other than our spaces.
Right. And I know at times you contend with funerals too.
Yes. Yep.
Are you trying to make a point that it's been parking at the Grange?
That's where I'm heading.
I think last month you also testified that you're gonna have it one way through.
Yes.
so
Which is
basically
much
drop
safer.
off and-
Yes.
Right, so that's where I'm heading is, we all know, but if we don't put something on the record, there's nothing there, but us
Okay.
all shaking our heads going, huh?
That makes
So
sense.
at the Grange, how many parking areas do you have?
Probably in excess of 75 to 100 total, because we joined the whole Charitable Athletic Association property, so everything's encompassed together.
Right, so, yeah, so you have the athletic facility plus the Grange facility.
They've got to walk through, so if someone parks in the Downfield parking lot, there's a walk through right to the preschool, right to the drain.
Okay, so about 75 to 100, so I mean, it's significantly more. How far do people have to walk to get into the building?
At the very back of the parking lot,
It's,
no farther than the parking lot right
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's minimal, it's not, they're not walking 200 yards.
No.
There's no
Right.
buses crossing.
right. There's no busing traffic.
It's much safer for the children.
Yes.
Right.
Because we have families that pull in our parking lot to run them up to Hope Valley Elementary.
Right, so they have immediate access to the building and the
Yep.
facility. They're not, okay. So now 20 kids, so probably a better question for Tony. How many people can the facility hold at once?
The occupancy was set back when we redid the building 2 years ago. And it was 100, I think 125 upstairs, and 75 downstairs. They're gonna occupy the upstairs,
Okay,
so.
and the,
So way below capacity.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you're only using 20 kids, and how many staff?
Typically 3, but because of COVID, we have 5 staff in
Okay.
addition.
So you're at about 25.
Yep.
Do you still have parent helpers?
No, we're not allowed
Not
this
right
year,
now.
but going forward, if anything, it's 1 per day.
When things are normal, it's one?
Yes, 1 parent per day. is
Okay.
allowed.
So you'd never be over 30 people
Yep.
typically unless you had a guest. Because I know sometimes you'd have guest parents come on that have a neat occupation like a fireman.
Right.
And they would,
Yep.
they would meet with the kids and stuff like that.
You know, it doesn't matter.
No, it's way under.
Yep.
Tony, what's the septic? Yeah, you guys updated the septic?
Septic's all brand new, and basically a mini sewer treatment plant we got there, so.
Okay. You guys are on town water.
Mhm.
Do backtrack,
It's
the,
designed on 100 seats, 500 gallons a day.
so they got 100 seat septic
That's,
or 100
yeah. you're never
persons, yeah.
gonna- You're never going to use that.
I know. I was gonna-
So the entrance, we talked about this before, so the entrance is on the southern side of Main Street, right?
Entrance to the parking lot?
The entrance going into the Grange is on the south side, right? Huh?
West side of the building.
Okay, no, well,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, all right, west side of the building, yep. Yep, and then egress will be out of the athletic association coming off the ballpark,
Comes
so,
down the back of the property, goes out by the new gazebo fishing dock, and then it goes right up.
yeah, hooks out to the left and comes back out, yep, so,
Dow Field and Baby Dow comes up.
yep, so separate ingress and egress, which is gonna be much safer than even the school.
It is.
You don't have to contend with the buses and all the parents and everything else, and a lot less traffic.
Right, because I have parents walking to the door while other parents are pulling in currently. And it's
Yes.
very tricky.
The Grange is all up to fire code, I assume at this point, with the overhaul you guys did?
We're still in the middle of it, actually. We're still in the middle of it.
Okay.
Yeah, the state fire marshal wants us to do something to the ceiling in the basement, and that's under construction as we speak. I've been working with Tony and the state fire marshal, so all that stuff will be right up to snuff when the time comes, if you people approve this.
And she
you
has
guys
to approve the preschool anyway, so.
Yeah. The, you got,
Any proposed lighting, anything additional than what you have right now, out exterior lighting, or
No, she's looked at all that.
that satisfies all your requirements?
how about signage?
The sign that we'll put up is not a lit sign, is that what you're asking?
No, well, just say you're gonna put new signs in front of the Grange, because you guys have like a sandwich board one you put up sometimes.
Yes,
Anything other than that?
we just have a wooden one. I don't know
Yeah, we special.
what size that is.
Okay, it's not lit though.
No.
No, it's gonna meet the sign ordinance, Tony?
Whatever, yeah,
If we do any changes
if
to
it's
the
only
sign,
bigger than is permitted, then you have to come back.
Okay. All right,
Yeah, just keep it within the sign ordinance,
okay.
dimensions, which is pretty easy to do.
Where can I find that, or can you tell me?
In the district,
Okay.
in the zoning book.
All right.
I was going to say, Tony.
Okay.
Yeah, he can cut to the chase quicker than you're trying to find it in there. Joe, you have any additional? Not the plans.
Yeah, no. Access to the second floor, is it handicap accessible up there?
both floors are handicap accessible, yes.
Good question. You got any wrong? Number 2? Dan?
I don't have any additional questions. Could you just clarify the point? Your school wasn't served with any violation, your landlord was, correct?
Correct,
Has nothing to do with the operation of the school.
correct.
I knew that, I just wanted to make sure the record was.
Okay.
Any additional questions for him?
Good point, though.
Guys, let's just go rehash the findings of fact for this, just to help Joe, when we come. We can, well, we can, so let's, yeah, go, throw them on.
Before you go to that point, I'm just going to open up on this issue. Because if this decision is challenged, it's no in the action that we take, correct?
Yeah.
And
Well-
if our solicitor is advising us the way we have not met or the applicant has not met the notice requirements, I'm just a little uncomfortable moving forward unless it's explained very thoroughly to the applicant.
So that would be my suggestion. I wanted to take a minute when you guys broke, if we wanted to continue the final decision on this to a date certain. It doesn't have to be, a month. It can be a couple of weeks, just in time to get the notice to the town council, because I'm looking at the statute right in front of me, and it says the notice has to go to the town council, that's of any town that's within 200 feet.
And I think that the case law is very clear on this. I don't have a problem going forward I wanted to stop it before you got to the findings of fact. I don't have a problem going forward on a conditional basis, because I think it'll be very easy for this applicant to obtain a waiver. I think that's what we need at this point, and then have the, we can validate the decision at the next meeting. But find it today, follow the process through, and then affirm it at the next meeting.
Just, yeah, you can make it conditional on, the absence of any objection from the town of Richmond on due notice.
Okay, so I mean, well, that can be a condition if we decide to approve that they notify the town of Richmond, barring any objections. The next meeting, we ratify that it's
Do
approved.
we have to wait till this meeting, or can we let it go administratively? And once Tony,
I kick it to him.
I don't want them to have
It's
to wait
legal.
another month.
Well, I don't want to wait another month
Notifying
either.
a stupid town that doesn't have a say.
Well, actually, the town of Richmond does have a say. That's why they're, in the
Not really.
well, that's why they're in the statute, so,
What say do they have?
so they have.
I mean, if they came in here right now and said, we don't want it, it's across the river in town of Hopkinton, but we don't want it. We don't, what's their standards?
Well, they have standing by the statute, so.
The legislature says they have standing. Now, you can disregard whatever their opinion is on it, but they still have a right to present their position.
Which they
So-
probably wouldn't, because they wouldn't want us to go back there.
Because we're never made aware that another town, whether it be North Stonington or if it's the town of Richmond, or the town of Exeter, those are our butters, right?
Mhm.
This board, I don't think we've ever been made aware that anybody's doing a project abutting our town,
No, that's because town,
because it goes to the council, and they've never made us aware of it. So that's why, I mean, because it's news to us, because we've had, God, for years, I don't think I don't think we've formally notified the town. We've always notified.
It's not as it does with the applicant, Jonathan, but I can think of the, down actually,
We did do the one to North Stonington.
the town council, Ronnie?
I don't know we notified the people.
Was that Dodson's?
Yeah.
No, not that one, the mulching operation. Those are on the town line, right?
Which one, I'm sorry?
Mad Rivers, the mulching operation.
We did because it borders North Stonington.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the one I can think of.
We don't, but we didn't do the town of North Stonington. We only did.
Yeah, I know.
We only did we only made them do the landowners. Dobson's and,
That sounds like we've been doing it wrong.
we might have been.
So,
Well, I
I'm
mean,
good with
it's
that.
not you guys that give the notice necessarily, it's the applicant who has to give the notice to the other town, but by the same token, I mean, you guys probably, they wouldn't necessarily hear about it coming from other towns either, so we go to the town council. The town council could just put it on their mail list and say, well, that's, put it on their consent.
that's funny, when it's a zoning issue, you think the council would kick it to the appropriate board to say, hey, guys, do you have an objection?
And what it kind of boils down to is not something like preschool, it would kind of boil down to something like a nuclear power plant or a mulching operation that's going to be obnoxious, maybe the neighbors in that abutting town,
Right.
and therefore they have this say.
Right. At the end of the day, I don't anticipate it's going to be an issue for the town of Hopkins, or of the town of Richmond, but I think to dot the i's and cross the t's. There's certainly,
In the statute-
and actually more for the protection of the applicants than for anybody else.
The statute says.
It's not really about
special use
covering our-
permit, chapter number 5.
So would it be appropriate of us to, if we approve this, to conditionally accept it
Really is.
with the fact that the applicant's going to notify the town of Richmond? If there's, as long as there's no objections, can we allow Tony to handle it administratively so they can get moving?
It has to be notice of a hearing. So you have to give them notice of a hearing date. So you have to continue to the next, to a hearing date. That's within the required notice time, which would be what, 14 days? So you could set it down technically for a hearing within 14 days. So long as within 14 days of the notice going out, it's just so long as nobody shows up on that 14th day of the hearing, then you can close the public hearing and,
That pretty much puts us to next month's meeting anyway, doesn't it?
March 15th, yeah, because we can't meet until that week anyway.
When were you trying to open?
Soon as we can.
Yeah.
You still, how much work for the fireworks you still have?
Well, the issue we have is it's twofold. Number one is we're waiting for the fire marshal to give me the okay to finish.
Yeah.
And secondly, we're trying to get them out of a building that's not safe.
Mhm.
That's the biggest key. and I know you folks you do a great job here, and I've worked with you plenty of times already. I just don't understand that the rules change, because I've got 2 special use permits for the same property and never had to go to the town. Went to the people that abutted 200 feet, and now you're saying I have to go to the town. I very easily could have done that 2 weeks ago to get this solved.
So different attorneys with different,
Different attorney in the town?
no, yes, we have different attorneys here. Our past attorneys
Okay,
didn't make us jump through that hurdle,
I understand.
right? Because we look at it the same way you did. I don't recall us often reaching out to the other towns. We have on occasion.
It is,
No, I don't think we ever have.
it is a statutory requirement. I just don't want, I don't want you guys to have to come back 2 months later, or 3 months later when there's something, when somebody does object for the town of Richmond and, everything gets sidetracked and you have to start from scratch.
My concern for you is, if this works for you, and a year or 2 down the road, somebody has a problem, if those guys on there, and they try to invalidate what we did here tonight, it will be a much larger
Yeah, we don't want that.
versus 3. I'm not, I don't have any reason to not support you. I do, I just don't want to see you run into trouble.
We appreciate that very much.
Where do you think the state fire marshal's at as far as time with you guys? You don't know?
Waiting to hear back from them. They gave me one design they wanted to see them, and then as soon as I emailed them and said, when do you want to inspect it? They came back and said, nope, we need this. So I got them what they wanted, certified engineer print, and they said, oh, no, we need this. So, but we're close. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen in the next 2 weeks. There's no way.
Well, that's what I'm getting at is 2 weeks, I don't think is going to cripple you because you're not quite there. You're getting close. And I don't think, I'd be amazed if the town of Richmond had anything to say with this. Yeah, how do you guys want to proceed? Do you want to go through conditionally with the findings of fact and everything, or do you just want to wait? No, we'll just wait. and
We're
hold.
wasting our time, just
Yeah.
I think
give notice and we'll do it next
Nobody
month.
shows up.
you want to
next
build in
meeting.
on the findings of
You just
fact that
find
nobody
the fact.
objected for the town of Richmond.
No conditions.
That'd be
No presentation, nobody shows up.
Right, we won't need to put any conditions that way either.
Yeah, because we can just, so next
It's cleaner.
month,
Just do it.
in a couple of weeks on the 18th, you guys have given us all the facts we need. So we can just come in, we can have discussion, just call out the findings of fact,
Make sure no objections from
and make sure there's no objections, and then go through our
Which
decision.
they would be silly to, because they don't have a preschool in Richmond. And 60% of our population comes from their town, so.
Isn't that funny? They all, sorry.
But yeah, I don't want to jeopardize anything that would have them come back to a decision, and I'd rather do it the right way.
I don't, sorry, it's just a different direction than we normally have with notifying the town.
It's okay, if we've been doing it wrong, we fix it, but
Yeah,
it's too bad that.
Well, I hate to have you-
it cost them a couple weeks.
yeah, I hate to have you guys come out for nothing, but it wasn't nothing. We got all the information on the record now. Yeah, but-
Basically, just send them the same letter I sent all the abutters,
Yep, just
registered.
you can do it registered, continue, just let them know that the hearing is scheduled for March 18th.
Okay.
Yep, and then, again, barring no objections, we'll plow through this and well,
Even if there is no objection, there wasn't some.
yeah, well, it's,
It'd have to be something.
well, it doesn't matter. If somebody objects, we just listen to it and then we weigh it on and then we're gonna make our own
Okay.
decision anyway,
It'd have to be something.
right? So it doesn't matter if there's objections. or not.
Okay,
But we still have to hear them.
March 18th, at 6 or 7.
6, it'll be 6.
Yeah, because we
We're
have,
stopping at 6.
well,
Hey,
which,
blame it on the word appeal.
Well, it would be the last meeting at 6. Now we're getting in the summertime. and it doesn't work.
it's March. No, yeah, we're not gonna keep doing 6, but we have brevity on the agenda next month, in a couple of weeks. So the intent was to clear this one out of here, so we had a clean slate.
Just go to court.
But
The motion for continuance, John?
yes, can I entertain one? You got one?
Yep, so moved.
All right, is there a second? Any more discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye.
thank
All
you,
right,
gentlemen.
we'll see you next month, you guys. Sorry to throw a curveball at you. we're halfway there.
That's too bad.
You're right, and it's not a risk you want to run.
Any other discussion of anything that you want on the record?
Not us. But the only part you're wrong about is wheels.
Shit.
Get through the 200-foot above.
All right,
You tell them who they have to go to.
where are they? In here somewhere.
So it's.
Got 'em? You throw it?
Our fault, and their fault.
Well, fair enough.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes from the January 21st, 2021 meeting.
Is that there?
We have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Pretty well done.
We didn't approve anything last month, so there's nothing to ratify, right? Do you do the ratify deal? No? You don't? Every one of you guys does something different. Oh. Okay, can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alexa usually tells us she's off.